Pat Hill's never beaten the Broncos, and they won again today, 56-6 over New Mexico State. So they're 5-0 in the conference. The Bulldogs are trying to get to 5-0 in the WAC, and Boise State has won 31 straight WAC games. So that's still to come tonight, still to be decided. And San Jose State maybe playing this like their bowl game.
Well, that's the way they got to look at it. But Dick Tomey has said the final 3 games. He just doesn't want to pinpoint the one game here in Fresno. It's how they finish. He knows they're 1-7, but they'll be remembered for the finish in the final 3 games.
The Bulldogs will kick off to start this one. I should tell you, regular kicker Clint Stitzer still out with that hip flexor, did not even dress tonight. So Kyle Zimmerman will be handling the kicking chores for Fresno State. Treston George is back deep to receive for the San Jose State Spartans, standing at his 1-yard line.
Treston is a game breaker. He's brought back punts and kickoffs for touchdowns in his career. In fact, he scored in 5 different ways.
Zimmerman sends it 2 yards deep. George is coming out to the 10 and is hammered down by Kyle Goodman. Short of the 15. They'll spot it at about the 12-yard line.
That ball came out of there and it was recovered by Trey Jackson, a reserve strong safety for San Jose State. You saw an example there of John Baxter's special teams at Fresno State. Dick Tomey says they're the best in the country, and John Baxter has his team tremendously well coached in every facet of the special team unit. You saw them get down there and just absolutely blast Treston George. So much about motivation about Fresno State. They look pretty motivated on that kickoff.
They'll spot it just inside the 15 after the fumble recovered fortunately by the Spartans. First play from scrimmage. Giannis Davis, the ball carrier. Stopped after a gain of about 4. It'll be at the 19. J.P. Greco is the starting quarterback tonight, and that's unusual. Adam Trafalis, the starter all season long. Trafalis a little nicked up tonight, we're told, and maybe a little bit of a change-up for Dick Tomey. Second down pass, incomplete, intended for the tight end, Brian Wagey. Starting lineups brought to you by the City Platinum Select Card for college students. Cantu, Burrow, Paysinger, Booker, and Tonesfelt across the front line for the Spartans. Rufus Skillen, very talented receiver along with Chester Coleman. Wagey you saw at tight end. Davis will get most of the action running the football. On third down, and whistle stop play, penalty, and we'll check the call.
You know, there's this assumption when you think of Fresno State.
Ball start, 71 on the offense, 5-yard
penalty here against San Jose State, to think in terms of their offense, but their defense at Fresno State is exceptional, as good if not better than anyone in the WAC.
Take a look at the Citibank starting lineups for the Bulldogs. Briscoe McIntyre, Lewis Leonard, who had to decide against surgery on an injured finger earlier this week and will play the rest of the season with a protective cast. McIntyre already wearing a cast to protect his broken hand. Wayne Andrews and Marcus McCauley, great on defense. Culver has been a big play guy, and Richard Marshall is another one you have to watch out for if you're Tomey. And right now he wants to talk it over, calling a timeout.
Well, J.P. Greco, the San Jose State offense, a little rattled early on. Again, this is a vociferous crowd here in Fresno, and they get into it. The Bulldogs are emotional early, and he wants to settle his quarterback down.
Let's take a look at the starting quarterback for San Jose State. It is J.P. Greco, brought to you by Dex. He's a junior out of Auburn and has not had much action coming into this one. He's just thrown 22 passes all season. He was 12 of 22, 1 touchdown, no interceptions.
For Fresno fans, if his name is familiar, Alex Greco, a tight end at Fresno, who graduated in 2003, very good player, is his brother. So that Greco name is back in Fresno in an enemy uniform tonight. There's Pat Hill, who coached Greco, the tight end, who played for him from 2000 to 2003. But there's got to be some butterflies for J.P. Greco. It's his second start. He had some early action against Boise State. Threw a 90-yard touchdown pass in that game to John Broussard, but he has to be a little nervous here.
And he's up against it now. It's 3rd and long, 3rd and 11 for the Spartans. Hands it off to Davis across the 15, the 20, cuts it back at the 25, 30. He has the first down, pushing defenders across the 35 to about the 38-yard line.
Fresno State was thinking pass, and the draw had him off balance. Giannis Davis is the hardest running back for San Jose State. He is a fighter. He will break tackles. He's a warrior. You can see he's pretty shifty going downfield. The last couple weeks, he's given the Spartans a running game.
Davis takes a break. The pitch is to Guidry across the 40, 45 into Fresno State territory. Finally dropped by Allen Goodwin at about the 47 of the Bulldogs.
Well, if the Spartans can run the football tonight, and they're a huge underdog. They're a 33-point underdog in this game. But if you can run the football effectively, it can change a lot of things. And early here in this first quarter, a couple nice runs. First from Davis, now from Al Guidry, who's a transfer from Fullerton Junior College.
Guidry averaging 4 yards a carry coming in, 1 touchdown rushing. 1st and 10, San Jose State, the first possession of the ballgame. The handoff to Guidry, looking for a hole, and runs into Marcus Riley at the 45.
There's Pat Hill. This is a Pat Hill type of drive, but for San Jose State on the ground. He's trying to encourage that defense. As the underdog, you know that San Jose State would love to get the jump. Trying to quiet the crowd down on the road here in Fresno.
Progress to the 43. It's a gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Greco again gives it to Davis. Goodwin has him after a gain of maybe a yard down to the 41. So another 3rd down situation. 3rd and 4. As you saw Goodwin come around the backside, catch Davis from behind.
Yeah, Allen Goodwin, a hard hitter. A guy who's added some weight in the offseason, returning starter, very athletic. Those linebackers young and talented for the Bulldogs.
Greco hands it off to Davis, and again, he's taken down. This time it's Josh Shirley at the 39. So that'll set up a 4th down.
See the speed of the Fresno State defense reacting to Davis. Josh Shirley, the strong safety. One of the hardest hitters on the team, but that time was able to get down low and take Davis down. And here's 4th down, and when you're 1 and 7, when you're 4th and 2 at your opponent's 39-yard line, why not go for it? Dick Tomey will. I think this is a good call to go for it.
Trying to draw Fresno State offside. Now Greco changing the play. And he's going to have to take a 2nd timeout.
Timeout. San Jose.
You know, Ralph, I don't know that he was trying to draw him off. You know, he could have. He also might have been confused.
Dick Tomey not very happy with the decision. We'll be back with more scoreless in the 1st from Fresno. All right, we're back at Bulldog Stadium. Scoreless. San Jose State facing a 4th and 2 after the timeout. Clearwire wireless broadband is high-speed internet that moves with you.
San Jose's had 7 plays of this drive, 6 runs. So again, they want to establish that ground game, move the football, try to keep Fresno State's offense off the field, but they've elected to punt here on 4th and 2.
Waylon Prather on the kick it. Low snap, high kick. Jennings lets it bounce, takes a Fresno State bounce to the 10-yard line. No spotting at about the 11, and Fresno State will take over there. 29 yards on the punt by Prater. Let's take a look at the starting quarterback for Fresno State, brought to you by Dex. Paul Pinniger, completing his passes at an outstanding clip. He's completed 65.5%, 13 touchdowns, 4 interceptions, and he's closing in on Kevin Sweeney and David Carr on Fresno State's career touchdown passing list.
Pretty good names.
Mathis, the ball carrier, and he'll be dropped in the backfield by Matt Costello. Great defensive play by Costello, knifing through into the secondary and making the stop. Starting lineups brought to you by the City Platinum Select Card for college students. Shaq Popovich Young is just a huge player center for Fresno State, and very talented receivers in Williams and Jennings. Mathis, of course, the offensive player of the week, the Western Athletic Conference, and he gets some great blocks from his fullback, Rashawn Burchett. Pinniger with the play fake. He's looking over the middle. Pass in and out of the hands of Paul Williams. Whoa. Depending on the play, but that was just a flat-out drop by Williams, and you won't see that very often.
Well, Paul Williams is a very talented guy, and he's going to have to regroup after that. You could have seen a pass that was perfectly thrown. That should have been a big play and perhaps a touchdown.
Citibank starting lineups for San Jose State. Kimji Green, one of the top guys along that front line. Matt Costello, you already saw, knifing from his linebacker position to make a big loss. Preston George, the man that Randy profiled, along with Josh Powell, big players in the secondary for the Spartans. Pinniger will throw on third down. Again, this time it's Fairman, makes a great catch, takes a shot, but has the first down. Bobby Godinez delivered one of the shots. Marcus Harper was the other. And they made a sandwich out of Fairman, but he did a great job on a 23-yard pickup and first down.
Well, San Jose State had 7 in the box loaded up against the run, so Pinniger electing to throw the football. That's just a terrific grab by Jerron Fairman, who caught a big one last year in the bowl game to help beat Virginia and send the game into overtime, which the Bulldogs 1-0 too.
Only one team in the nation was converting third downs at a higher clip than the Bulldogs, and that's number 1 ranked USC. This time it's Mathis, busting loose to midfield. He's into San Jose State territory and dragged down from behind. A saving tackle by Godinez. Otherwise, Mathis was on his way to the end zone.
Well, this is why we featured him at the beginning of the show. Look at the first cut. That was beautiful. You can't go on top an arm tackle. That's what Richardson, the linebacker, tried to do. Godinez indeed saved the touchdown. Terrific effort. A 47-yard run by Mathis. He had a 78-yard touchdown with a very similar look to that one last week at the University of Hawaii.
Came in with 700 yards on the season, well on his way to another 1,000-yard year. From the 29, 1st and 10, Fresno State. Mathis again, trying it off the left side, picking his way behind some blockers. Not much there. He'll pick up 2 or 3.
Mathis is a terrific player, and behind him is Bryson Sumlin, who has had a marvelous career here as well. Sumlin's rushed for over 2,200 yards. So when Mathis goes out and Sumlin comes in, you don't drop off at all. Sumlin's more of a power back. Mathis has power and speed.
Mathis is getting a break, and on this occasion, Matt Rivera takes his place in the backfield. Rivera, mostly a pass catcher out of the backfield. Pinniger fakes to Rivera, looking deep, floats it down the sideline. Jennings, touchdown!
What a pass by Paul Pinniger. You can watch a player for 4 years and you won't see a better pass than that by Pinniger. He just lofted that to the perfect spot And Jennings showing good concentration, bringing it in. But look how this is placed. Excellent protection. You cannot drop this one in any better than that. That is a magnificent throw. And nothing that Josh Powell, the strong safety, could do defending on the play. What a throw by Paul Pinniger. That one is perfect for the highlight tape.
Jennings' 12th reception this season, his 3rd touchdown. Pinniger now has 14 TD passes, 68 in his career. Kyle Zimmerman splits the uprights with the extra point. And the Bulldogs with big plays are on the board. They lead this one 7-0. We'll be back to Fresno State right after this. For San Jose State on the touchdown pass from Paul Pinniger to Adam Jennings. And you see that offense over there, still huddled around thinking about the next time they get the football.
Boy, that was an impressive drive. 90 yards, made it look easy. The great throw to finish it off. Jennings, who had some shoulder difficulties a few weeks ago, back in full stride, made a nice catch. But that throw by Pinniger was absolutely right on target.
John Broussard, the deep man for San Jose State on this kickoff.
Tracy George hammered last time, yeah. Fumbled the ball, and Broussard's their fastest player.
Kyle Zimmerman boots it from the 3. Broussard to the 15. Stutters his way across the 20, and then he's thrown out of bounds by Jerron Fairman at about the 24-25-yard line. 6 plays, 89 yards on the scoring drive. A couple of big plays. The long run by Wendell Mathis. Then Jennings, the 27-yard touchdown reception from Paul Pinniger. 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, I was looking at that number, and that's not really a Fresno State typical drive. They grind it out normally.
Number 93 on the kicking team. 15 yards from the end of the run. First down.
Bulldogs will pick up a penalty. It's on Ricky Miller. So from the 25, they'll march it out to close to the 40. And San Jose State will have great field position to start the offensive possession. Watch for number 93.
Well, Ricky Miller is the guy that was detected for the infraction right there. You see the body flying, and he was put out of bounds by Ricky Miller.
From the 39, first down. Handoff, Davis, nowhere to go. Gains maybe a yard. Marcus Riley in on the stop for Fresno State. It'll be second and 9 will come.
Well, you know what San Jose State's trying to do. They want to establish the ground game, and Fresno State all around Giannis Davis. But at some point, if they're going to move the ball on the ground, they have to find a passing game. It's well and good to give it to Giannis, but J.P. Greco and the Spartans are going to have to get the ball down the field and stretch that Fresno State defense.
Greco looking over the middle, has time. Little dump-off pass, incomplete. It was intended for Broussard, but not close to the receiver. This is a San Jose State team that has averaged 23.5 points this season and 115 rushing on 225 passing for a total of 340 yards of offense.
It's a team that last week had chances against Louisiana Tech, but did not capitalize on field position. They have pretty good field position here. Let's see if they can hit a third down play. But J.P. Greco has to throw the ball downfield and complete a pass. He has not done it yet.
Greco to the sideline. Jones has it, but he won't get anything. Marshall knocks him out of bounds at about the 45-yard line. So Fresno State's defense forces another punting situation for San Jose State.
Well, you're not going to beat Fresno State's defense with dropping the ball into the flat like that. They're too quick. They run too well to the football. You have to throw the ball down the field and stretch it, like I said earlier. And so far, the Spartans have been unable to do that.
Prather gets the kick away. Jennings takes it inside the 20. Looking for a wall. Gets a great block, but not enough. He's dropped at the 24-yard line. James Jones and Clarence Cunningham in on the stop for San Jose State.
Well, Fresno State is noted for its return game. They've returned a lot of punts already this year for touchdowns, and you can see Josh Powell got cleared out of there. About 3 or 4 key blocks. He only went about 8 or 9 yards upfield on the return, but you can see how Fresno State stresses and knows what to do. They stress what to do on those return games, and they're very good at it, and at any time their return artists can break one.
So the Bulldog offense back on the field with a 7-0 lead, facing a 1st and 10 from the 25. Williams in motion. Mathis, the tailback, takes the handoff, cuts it back, gets back to the 25, lowers his shoulders, picks up maybe 2 to the 27.
2 yards.
Oh, Treston George, we talked about him at the top of the show. Number 4 is a fighter. You see, he got knocked down, but he came back to the play. He had help there, but Treston George is going to be in and around the football all evening long. Returning starter, had a great year in 2002, a whack-all freshman team, and he's made big plays for years for San Jose State.
On 2nd down, Pinniger with a play fake. Pass in and out of the hands of Devin McDonald, the tight end. The intended receiver, he was being defended by Ezekiel Staples.
Well, Staples made a big-time play. He might be the top linebacker on this squad, and we know he can tackle people. That was pretty good pass coverage. And what a linebacker do it 2 ways. When you can stop the run and you can get back there and defend the pass, you're a pretty good football player. And Staples is very solid.
So another 3rd down for Fresno State. Bulldogs have converted over 53% on 3rd down this season. Pinniger will work out of a shotgun. Far sideline, pass is complete to Williams. 1st down, out of bounds. Just short of the 40-yard line.
And for a guy like Paul Williams, just a simple out. He's got to feel better about things. Remember, he dropped the one on the earlier drive, and I'm sure he was feeling a little guilty about letting that one go. But here, just a simple route. You got to respect his speed, and Paul Pinniger looks on tonight. Every pass he's thrown is crisp and right on the numbers. You just got to like the look of your quarterback, and that's a number 1 there who made a big play for him mentally.
Yet another 3rd down conversion for Fresno State on offense. 1st and 10 from just short of the 40-yard line. Bryson Sumlin in the backfield now. Handoff fake to him. Pass over the middle. Complete. Williams stumbles inside the 35 to about the 31-yard line. So Paul Williams left, Paul Williams right.
Fans love it as Paul Williams, who had a huge spring. They call him the freak show at Fresno State. This is a 28-yard hookup. And again, every throw that Paul Pinniger is throwing is right on the button. Treston George made the stop. He's getting good protection. And he's got that great pocket presence to step up, buy a little extra time, and hit the guy who's the freak, Paul Williams. And again, Pinniger right on the target every time.
George may have been shaken up a little bit on the play. He heads straight to the San Jose State bench. Fresno State on the march again, leading 7-0. Pinniger has the hot hand. Dumps the pass off to Rashawn Virtue. Gets inside the 20 to the 19, maybe the 18-yard line. He was knocked out by Eric Wilson.
Well, Pinniger's 5 out of 7 to start the game, and he had the 1 drop. A simple pass to the fullback, and here's a guy that's noted for his blocking. That's really a reward to get him the football in space. He's a tough guy who can make plays. One of the great lead blockers in the United States, clearing the way for the likes of Wendell Mathis and Bryson Sumlin.
This season, Virtue has 1 carry for 1 yard, but he made the most of it. He found the end zone for the touchdown. On 1st down, Sumlin bounces it outside, cuts it back inside, gets inside the 15 to about the 13-yard line. Ezekiel Staples again on the stop along with Wilson for San Jose State.
Well, Pat Hill has to feel very good. His offense looks very sharp. Some of the recent games, it's taken him a little longer to get it going, like at Idaho and even at Hawaii where the defense dominated. But tonight, the offense, very crisp, very solid. Just drove 89 for a score, and they're looking to get another one in the end zone.
Well, especially after that first pass by Williams was dropped. They have been clicking ever since. On 2nd down, Someone off the right side tries to get to the 10. He'll be stopped about a yard short at the 11.
Of course, Fresno State's thinking touchdowns, Ralph. You know, they got a second-string kicker. Not that Kyle Zimmerman can't kick field goals, but with a second-string kicker and your number one guy out of there because of injury, you want to get the ball in the end zone. And this is their game, just pounding away, beating teams down. One of the real terrific running games in the western United States for Fresno State.
3rd and 3 with someone in the backfield behind the fullback virtual. Williams in motion. Someone tries the right side. He has the first down and more. Regains his balance inside the 5. Touchdown, Someone.
Great effort on that 11-yard run by Bryson Sumlin. He was just not going to be tonight. He's a guy that scored a lot of touchdowns in his career. This year it's been Wendell Mathis who has most of the scores, but Bryson Sumlin, very strong. 2 or 3 had a shot at it. Gets a good block there up front from Cole Popovich, and he does the rest. After Popovich gave him the crease, someone got in the end zone.
Just kept those legs churning for the touchdown, and for Bryson Sumlin, that's his 4th rushing touchdown this season. Zimmerman on to attempt the extra point. He was perfect earlier. He's 6 of 7 on the season. Jordan Christensen to hold the snap from Ken Amendola, and the extra point is good. So Sumlin with the touchdown run from 11 yards out gives Fresno State a 14-0 lead. The Bulldogs offense averaging 11 yards a play so far. Welcome back to Bulldog Stadium. Fresno State trying to make it 12 straight over San Jose State in the series, leading at 14-0. The latest touchdown scored by that gentleman on an 11-yard run, Bryson Sumlin.
Great balance of the offense. They've run 14 plays, Fresno State. 7 runs, 7 passes. They've been productive either running or passing the football. They've had a touchdown in the air and on the ground.
Making it tough to be the defensive coordinator for the Spartans right now.
Yeah, Frank Cignetti is the offensive coordinator for Fresno State. So far, he's called a very solid first quarter.
You saw Broussard back deep. Takes the kickoff at the 6. Across the 15. Trying to get to the 20. But he's going to be just short. Again, Jerron Fairman in there, along with Vincent Mays and Manny Sanchez for Fresno State.
You can see why Dick Tomey had all praise for Fresno State special teams. He says they're the best in the country. We know how good Virginia Tech is with specialty teams, and in Miami and some of the other schools. He believes John Baxter's coach here at Fresno State, who coaches those specialty teams, is the best in the United States, bar none.
And he got away. John Baxter, another who assisted under Dick Tomey. We've heard Pat Hill say that Baxter's the best special teams coach in the country, but when you hear it from opponents, that's something else. Adam Tefralis has checked in at quarterback now for San Jose State. His first pass is complete to the 25. Jones, the receiver.
Now, Adam has a much stronger arm than Greco. And we don't know how limited he is on a gimpy knee. But he had a poor outing a week ago against Louisiana Tech. And I think because of the bad game a week ago and the fact that he's not 100%, they went with Greco. But this is the quarterback that they're going to win or lose with. And as you can see, that Leonard's struggling to get off, too. And he's playing hurt to start with. But if San Jose State's going to make a run on this football game, they have to do it with Adam at quarterback.
See the total yardage story, all Fresno State, as the defense continues to cause problems for the Spartans. Davis, the ball carrier, he was upended by Klutz, Tyler Klutz.
Tyler Klutz is a Pat Hill type player. His motor's always running a defensive end. The sophomore came here as a linebacker. They moved him to the defensive front, and he has done a great job. Only a sophomore at Clovis High School locally. He can really play. Much in the mold of Garrett McIntyre. Just a hard-nosed player.
By the way, Lewis Leonard right back in to the lineup for Fresno State on the 3rd down play. Tefralis hands it off to Davis. Big hole across the 35. Takes a hit and delivers one all the way out to the 50-yard line. I think that was Josh Shirley. He ran over.
Well, the draw has opened up twice now for the Spartans and Josh Davis. Again, Fresno State looking pass on the draw. Great blocking up front. 27 yards. And you can see the mental way of Giannis Davis. I mean, he's just going to lower the head. He's going to throw a shoulder at you. He's a physical running back, and he'll take you on one-on-one. And he just took Shirley on one-on-one. And because he beat Shirley, he gained an additional 15 yards before he's taken down by Marcus McCauley.
First down from the 50. That pass is complete. James T. Calliard with a reception.
Now the offense has come alive for the Spartans as soon as Trafalis entered the game. He just gives them that throwing presence, and the whole offense just picked up. And that's what happens when your normal starter comes back into the ballgame.
Gain of 7 on the completion. Second down, second at about 3 from just outside the 43 for Dick Tomey Spartans. They keep it on the ground. Al Gidry, the ball carrier, he has the first down. Tyler Klutz again with another stop, but it's inside the 40 now to the 37 of Fresno State. Bulldogs making defensive substitutions now along the front.
Nice drive for the Spartans, and they really have to have it right here. I mean, it's 14-0. Playing against a nationally ranked team. Fresno State has all the momentum. You can see that they dominated the first downs. They dominated the scoreboard. San Jose State needs points on this drive.
Trafalis changing the play at the line. Play clock running down. He gets it off. Short drop. Broussard had it, got hit, and dropped it. McCauley put the hit on Broussard. He coughed up the football, could not make that catch.
Fresno State has great corners in Richard Marshall and Marcus McCauley. McCauley's a big physical corner, tremendous leaper, and you can see he laid one on the receiver there. That wasn't a drop, that was a forced miscue because of the power of the hitting of Marcus McCauley, a junior out of Sacramento. He is a tough, good football player. Both he and Marshall, excellent cover guys.
Second and 10. Handoff. Again, they'll keep it on the ground. And there's Josh Shirley making up for his earlier missed tackle. Al Gidry picked up about 6.
Al Gidry, a little change of pace in the lineup for Giannis Davis. A little faster, not as strong, and he made Goodwood miss. And because of it, he was able to pick up 7 yards. A good run there by Al Gidry.
Boy, but did you see Josh Shirley, who was run over by Davis earlier, really squared up to make that tackle. Now it's a third down play. Third down and 4. This drive already consumed 7 plays and covered 50 yards. Trafalis drops back into the shotgun. Bulldogs show blitz. Here they come. He'll dump off the pass. Intended for Davis. Overthrown. Incomplete. Fourth down.
What a great series of downs for Tyler Klutz, number 11 on defense for Fresno State. Trafalis had to throw that ball a little bit early because of the presence of Tyler Klutz coming in from the outside. And because of that, it stopped the play, it stopped the drive, and they'll be forced to try a long field goal.
Jarrett Strubeck is the Spartans kicker. He's 7 of 12 this season. This will be from 48. And he's going to miss it to the right. Field goal no good. Strubeck now 7 of 13 on the season. The big play of the quarter is presented by Xbox Live. It's good to play together. Here's the Xbox big play.
Adam Jennings gets open, but it's the throw by Pinniger, and they teach this at Fresno State, to throw it to that pylon, and that was right on target for a gorgeous touchdown.
All right, after the missed field goal now, Fresno State going to take over again on offense. Pat Hill's team already off to a 14-0 lead.
You know, Ralph, Pat's teams always play well in November. You know, in past years they've struggled a little bit in October, not this year, but you know, they feel November's their time, and they've been brilliant in November. during his administration. They just don't lose games in November.
Mathis bounces off a defender across the 40 now. 45, knocked out of bounds there. Josh Powell and Chris Vetter in on the tackle. It'll be another Fresno State first down. A pickup of 14 for Wendell Mathis.
You cannot tackle him high. He's too strong. You got to get down low. You can see the Spartans go up top. That's not going to work to get the power back like this young man, Wendell Mathis. And he's got that move to cut outside, and he's got the strength. He's just a sensational football player.
Fairman, the only wideout for Fresno State. Pinniger hands it off. Mathis going the other way. Trying to pick his way behind D'Artagnan Shack. But he'll be stopped by Anthony Flores of San Jose State after a short game. Pickup of maybe 3 yards.
Boy, it makes it so much easier to throw the football when you run it as effectively as the Bulldogs. They have established that running game again tonight, and then Paul Pinniger can come back and hit you with 65 or 70% percentage ratio every night. So when you got a running game, it makes it a little bit easier for this guy who's good anyway. So he just becomes that much better when you have that run game established.
We're inside the final minute of the first quarter. Pinniger facing second down. Fakes the handoff. Dumps the pass off. It's complete. Jermaine Jamison has it at the 40. That'll be another Fresno State first down. Another not a third down conversion, but another first down. That play came on second down. Ezekiel Staples on the stop.
Again, the ability to step up in the pocket and by a little extra time right there by Pinniger. And he's very comfortable when surrounded by the enemy. He doesn't get rattled in there. He's poised. That's what a four-year starter can be, very poised, and he gives Fresno State that ability to get things done in tough situations because he is so poised in the pocket.
With a 2-touchdown lead, the Bulldogs be content to let the clock run out. We have played 1 quarter here at Bulldog Stadium, and it is the Fresno State Bulldogs leading this one 14-0 over the Spartans of San Jose State. Sweeney, his son, was the quarterback. Ironically, the only blemish on that year's team was a tie, and the pass is nearly intercepted right into the breadbasket of Kenji Green. Getting back to the 1985 team, it was a tie to Hawaii, and Dick Tobey was head coach of Hawaii at the time. Take a look at the first quarter stats brought to you by Clearwire, wireless broadband, high-speed internet that moves with you.
Ironically, in that 24-24 tie, Ralph, it was tied for a long time. Almost the whole fourth quarter, both teams went scoreless, so they never broke the deadlock, and at that time, they didn't have the overtime session.
Fresno State 3 of 3 on third down conversions in the first quarter. Pinniger will throw. Looking. Unloads. Wide open is Jermaine Jamison. 15-10 to about the 8-yard line. Fresno State will have it first and goal. Chris Owens defending on the play. But Jamison just wide open.
Well, we've been talking about Pinniger. It's time to talk about the offensive line. He has all night to just stand in there and throw the football. And Jamison, a veteran wide receiver, getting open downfield. But the offensive line made it real simple for that pitch and catch. And Fresno State has first and goal once again. And this offense and their numbers, they have been sensational in this first half.
33 yards on that play. Pinniger sends Adam Jennings in motion. Now back the other way. He'll hand it off. Mathis bounces off the pile. Gets it down to about the 5-yard line. A pickup of 2. Second and goal.
Just don't get the feeling that the Spartans can slow down the Fresno State offense. They've established the run game and the passing game. And, of course, in any offense, you want balance. And Fresno State so far in this opening half has great balance.
That offensive line has done a great job protecting Pinniger in passing situations. He has a second and goal from the 5. And he'll throw. Pumps, unloads, nearly intercepted. Godinez in the end zone. Had his hands on it, but could not hang on.
I think Paul Pinniger originally wanted to go to Rashawn Bircher. That was his primary target, but Bircher, when he was running into the flat, stumbled, and Pinniger had to look away from him, and then he threw it into the end zone, and he's fortunate that one didn't get picked.
So now another third down conversion, and the bad news for the Spartans is Fresno State is 3 for 3 on third downs tonight. Pinniger out of the shotgun. 5 receivers available. Has time. Now it breaks down. Pinniger going to run it. Cuts it back inside. Touchdown!
Well, that's not a part of his game that you normally see. And at times, Pinniger has been able to do that. But here's a situation where he had no other options. Everybody's covered downfield, and this guy's a winner. He's 30-9 as the starting quarterback because he makes plays. And there he just made a play. The defense had the Bulldog receivers handled, and Paul Pinniger tucked it down and wanted it more than anyone else on the field.
And the Bulldogs again convert on third down. Zimmerman on to attempt the extra point. Christensen gets it down. And Zimmerman kicks it through. 13:31 to play the second quarter. And it's Fresno State leading this one 21-0 over San Jose State. We'll be back to Fresno after this. Fresno State, by the way, 5 for 5 now on third down conversions. Wendell Mathis back in the ballgame, gets the handoff, and will lose a couple.
You see a blitz there from the secondary from Josh Powell, 33. Those are the kind of things they're going to have to do. Bring guys from the secondary and gamble. You get beat, you get beat. You're down anyway. But 33's coming, and he helps bust up this play. And the guys up front, led by Freddie McCutcheon, the defensive tackle, they also did their job there.
So now 3rd and 6. Fresno State has to get inside the 31-yard line to pick up first down. Here comes the blitz, and the Bulldogs can't pick it up that time. Pinniger is drilled and dropped. Justin James with the sack for San Jose State. The Spartans finally foil Fresno State on a third down attempt.
Well, it was 3rd and long, and that takes the run away from Fresno State, so they just blitzed. And again, I said it 2 downs early. They're going to have to start sending guys and get numbers on their side. And Justin James came in unblocked. A little stunt up front. Paul Pinniger took the hit there. Sometimes it's not the glory position that we all think it is.
James with his 6th sack of the season. That leads the team. Mike Lingua in the punt for Fresno State. Jones back deep for San Jose State at the 10. High snap. Lingua gonna just fall. And that may be the first time I've seen that happen this season. A bad snap in the special team situation for Fresno State. But the Spartans will have great field position when we come back. They'll take over at the Fresno State 33, trailing by 21. Welcome back to Fresno. Bulldogs leading the Spartans 21-0 midway through the second quarter. Fans, go to www.sportswest.tv and click on the city link to find out more about the City Platinum Select Card for college students. Apply today and receive a $50 statement credit after your first purchase. Made within 3 months. Use it for anything you'll need as a college student. San Jose State with great field position, trying to take advantage of it, and that's the guy who's been making big plays on offense. Giannis Davis with another big pickup on the ground.
Yeah, he's been averaging over 10 yards a carry in this first half, and he really is an impressive running back. Well, Dick Tomey's team needs a score here after getting the turnover. Down by 3 touchdowns. They need something positive to happen, and they have to get the points. Now they got the break. Now they need the points.
They'll keep it on the ground, but not much there. Dwayne Andrews lower in the boom with a big stop.
Yeah, you hear the term filling the hole. Well, watch 51 fill the hole right there.
Collier had nowhere to go.
Yeah, Dwayne Andrews is an all-WAC caliber guy. Honorable mention last season. He respected by all his teammates. He's their middle backer, and he cleans up in the middle. That's just a great play. He has respect, and he does his homework on the opposition. He knows everything about his opponents. He's always in that film room checking everybody out, and yeah, that one's snuffed out there.
This is where the Fresno State defense has been so tough this year in the red zone, inside the 25. Tafralis will throw, pass, incomplete. There was contact down there. The receiver made the catch, but he was out of bounds. Chester Coleman.
Well, Chester Coleman's a former walk-on who's gotten better and better every week. And this is an acrobatic catch. He's out of bounds, but you got to love the effort. Did he come down with it?
No, he dropped it anyway.
He did drop it anyway. But what an effort by Chester Coleman. There was a play last week where he knocked down 3 guys in the same play, 3 blocks in the same play, and that won him a starting job. Dick Tomey loved the fact that he cleared the path for his teammates.
So now it's third down for the Spartans. Tafralis to pass, steps up, fires over the middle, and it should have been picked off right into the arms of Richard Marshall, and he can't believe he didn't hang on to it.
You can see he's an emotional player. You're right, he should have had the pick. He's a guy that's returned 3 of them for touchdowns in his career. And again, Marshall and McCauley are just great cover guys. And it looks like Marshall's the intended receiver here. It looks like he's the guy. And that one was just blanketed. A rare drop for that guy, Richard Marshall, who has a couple picks this year, runs 4.40 at the 40, and is just a superior quarterback.
Down by 3 touchdowns. The Spartans aren't going to go for a field goal here. They'll go for it on 4th and 9.
Well, they need to get the ball in the end zone after that turnover. If they come out of there with no points, it really could deflate them.
Bulldogs come with a blitz. Arch to the end zone and knocked out of the hands of Davis by Andrews. Dwayne Andrews getting back to his middle linebacker spot in pass coverage, and he was right with Giannis Davis, knocked the ball loose, and Fresno State hangs on defense, makes the stop. The Bulldogs will have it on offense once again. When we come back, they already lead it 21-0. Back at Bulldog Stadium, you're looking at the winningest head coach in the history of Fresno State football in the white cap, Jim Sweeney, who had many great battles against the San Jose State Spartans, especially in the 70s, 80s. Great games.
I think of Jim Sweeney, I think of great offenses. His teams really opened it up. Always had a penchant for the long ball, exciting teams that always seem to win.
Fresno State takes over on offense, leading it already 21-0. Wendell Mathis cutting it back to the near side, dragged down from behind at about the 24-yard line by Matt Costello.
Well, Costello's a local guy from San Jose that makes this tackle. But again, the cutback ability of Wendell Mathis. And Dick Tomey told us, Ralph, when we talked to him earlier in the week, that he felt that these Fresno State running backs were by far and away the best that the Spartans had faced this year. And that's been borne out tonight with some good performances from both Mathis and Sumlin.
3-yard gain by Mathis, 2nd and 7. Fake to Mathis. Pinniger comes the other side. Devin McDonald has the catch and a first down. He's dragged down from behind by Wilson at the 26-yard line. Penalty flag though on the play, so we'll check that out and see if it's coming back. Looks like it's going to be against San Jose State. McDonald was indicating it might be against the Spartans. Now maybe they're going to wave it off.
There was no flag. The eligible receiver caught the ball.
Yeah, I would have been shocked if there was a flag, because Fresno State has been airtight offensively so far tonight. That's a quandary for Dick Tomey. You know, he brought his troops last time with some blitzes and had some success, but for the most part, Fresno State has just executed so well in this first half, it's tough to stop them offensively.
So the play stands, first down for Fresno State. 4 receivers for Pinniger. Adam Jennings in motion. Pinniger will throw. Swings it out to Matt Rivera to the far side. Ezekiel Staples got a hold of him. And let's see where they spot it.
The second effort is past the 40-yard line.
Matt Rivera is a smart, reliable pass catcher coming out of the backfield. He's a pretty good blocker, too. He's undersized at 5'9", 195 pounds. But every football team needs a product like this guy, Matt Rivera. He just plays every facet of the game well. He comes in, and every time he seems to give Fresno State a lift. You know, we talk so much about Sumlin and Mathis, but Matt Rivera has done a good job for Pat Hill's team.
They'll say he stepped out of bounds at the 38, so a short gain of 2, 2nd and 8. This, again, cutting back, lowering his head, gets across the 40-yard line.
Near the 40-yard line.
And he is dropped there by Godinez.
Could be another productive night in the polls for Fresno State. Boston College lost in front of them. Florida State lost in front of them. UCLA. So some big teams have gone down. And I'm not saying that they're going to jump all those teams, but we're going to see a changing of the guard in those polls. And Fresno State, if they can continue this kind of performance, will move up national.
It's another Fresno State 3rd down play. And here comes the blitz again. This time the Bulldogs pick it up, and a great catch and pass for Williams. Boy, Williams gets down to the 30, but Pinniger threaded the needle, and Williams made the catch in traffic, even though he had to be hampered somewhat by the defender.
Well, that's the one problem with the blitz. You get one-on-one coverage in the secondary, and you're trying to cover a big man like this. The ball was thrown behind Williams. Remember, he dropped one earlier. Well, he's caught his last 3. This was a tough catch. It was behind him. That's just great concentration. You can see how strong he is, and if that tackle's not applied by Owens, that's a touchdown. But that's a gifted performer, Paul Williams, 6'2", junior.
So the Bulldogs are on the move again at the 30-yard line of San Jose State. Pinniger will throw again. Over the middle. McDonald went up for it, but couldn't hang on. Incomplete pass. 2nd down.
Devin McDonald's at side end, but he's a former wide receiver. Even though he dropped that one, he's reliable in that regard. It's almost like having a 3rd or 4th receiver in the game when Devin McDonald lines up at tight end. He's also a guy that, you know, has hung around the program. I mean, he wasn't a player that got very many downs in his sophomore, freshman, and junior years, but he stuck around, and by the end of his junior year, he started to get on the field, and now as a senior, he's productive for Pat Hill and Frank Cignetti in that offense.
Pinniger hands off to Matt Rivera on 2nd down. He has an opening. Trying to get to the 20. He needs to get to the 20 to pick up the 1st down. He'll be about a yard short.
Well, this has been a play that's been effective for the Spartans, and Giannis Davis in the first half, the draw. Everyone in the stadium thinking pass, and Pinniger crossed him up with the draw. And again, you can see the blocking up front. A gaping hole for Matt Rivera. And life is so much easier when the guys up front are clearing a path for you.
So guess what? Another 3rd down for Fresno State.
I'm betting they're making this one. What's a 3rd, less than a yard? They'll pick this up.
Pinniger's going to take a timeout. He didn't like what he saw, so he'll come over to the sideline and talk it over. See him looking at that playlist on his forearm.
It's amazing to me that this is a guy that started 4 years at Fresno State. He can become the first quarterback in NCAA history to win 4 straight bowl games. And if Fresno State wins tonight, they become bowl eligible. You say, well, they got 6 wins already. Why aren't they eligible right now? It's because they had that game in Hawaii and they have that extra game. So they need 7 wins to be bowl eligible. Paul Pinniger, when he goes into a bowl, can become the first one ever to win 4 in a row.
Let's look at the Suzuki Walk-On Way of Life Player of the Game, brought to you by Suzuki. Introducing the all-new Grand Vitara, the authentic SUV. And there's a guy who began his Fresno State career out of South Lake Tahoe as a walk-on. Garrett McIntyre went on to become a scholarship player, and he's joined there by his brother. Same situation, but Garrett McIntyre entered this season as the preseason Defensive Player of the Year in the WAC. Hampered early by an injury, but you can see him already making big plays tonight. The Suzuki Walk-On Way of Life, player of the game, brought to you by Suzuki, introducing the all-new Grand Vitara, the authentic SUV.
Well, he had that big pressure on Tafralis that forced the turnover and the interception by Tyrone Culver.
Right. A guy whose motor never stops running, Virginia head coach Al Groh described him as a ball of nails. One of the great descriptions of a football player I've ever heard. Pinniger on the keeper will have the first down as he just follows his mammoth center, Kyle Young, a 6'5", 320-pounder. And it's another Fresno State first.
You know what's impressive? What's impressive here, Ralph, is the fact that Fresno State, and I mentioned it before. You know, you got Boise State and USC and Reno and Louisiana Tech, teams that are better than San Jose State on your schedule. But this Fresno State team, they've come here with purpose tonight, and they're just playing a hard-nosed football game. You can see the stats. Look at the first down margin. Fresno State is in mentally to this game. I mean, they came here to play hard against San Jose State.
Pinniger will throw, tries to get it away as he's hit by Josh Powell. The pass will be incomplete. Powell coming on the blitz.
Well, the Spartans in the second quarter sending a lot of players from a lot of areas, and Josh Powell's the safety, veteran player, maybe the best player on that defense. And he got to Pinniger, and you can see Paul saying, "You did a good job there. I'm going to give you a little tap on the helmet. And thank you for not hurting me."
Josh Powell, a young man out of Bakersfield.
One that got away from Fresno State. The Bulldogs have done a great job of recruiting that area. Of course, David Carr came from Bakersfield.
He did give some consideration to coming here, and then Pinniger angrily has to call another timeout.
No State. Second timeout.
You know, as excited as Pat Hill has been tonight, I know we're going to go to a break here, but the most he got excited is when they had that defensive stop after the turnover.
All right, 2:43 left in the second quarter. It's been all Fresno State. 21-0 lead over San Jose State.
Matt Rivera is standing by himself, and had he looked to the left, it would have been a touchdown for Fresno State.
And two Fresno State receivers side by side in the end zone on that play. Fortunate that was not picked off. Fade to the end zone, incomplete. He led Fairman just a little bit too much, so now it's another fourth down situation, and I think Kyle Zimmerman's going to get a chance to try his first college football field goal.
Well, can't have it any easier. It's like an extra point. He's had a whole bunch of those already in a couple ball games, so you want to be comfortable. As a former soccer player, he actually came to Fresno State to play soccer, and they needed. Here he is after the injury to Spitzer. But it's like an extra point. And no pressure at all with the 21-0 lead.
Perfect snap. Hold is good. Kick is up. And through. Kyle Zimmerman has his first college field goal. Fresno State also has a 24-0 lead. 37 seconds left in the half. Big play of the quarter is presented by Xbox Live. It's good to play together, and here it is, the Xbox big play. Pinniger on the scramble.
He's been making plays all half, and that's when everybody was covering downfield, so he did it himself, Paul Pinniger.
Again, the big play of the quarter presented by Xbox Live. Coach Pat Hill looking to extend the team's winning streak, trying to get off to a 7-1 start for the first time since 1991.
Well, they've been playing great football again. In recent times, you see they get 9-10 wins every year, win bowl games, or get to a bowl game. 6 straight years brought into a bowl game. And just established a great program. And it's about the program. That's what he told me. He looks at Pat Hill as a model. You know, Western Athletic Conference along with Boise State. It's the program that San Jose State would like to be like. And so far they're not. And they're learning the hard way how good Fresno State is in this first half.
After getting the field goal, Zimmerman goes pump up, kicks off into the end zone. Broussard brings it out. And no place to go. Nothing to grab. He hits the curve at the 12.
The best special teams in the country. Even though they had a breakdown on a high snap, slam earlier. Fresno State normally does that to their opponents, and Dick Tony knows.
So Tony Spartans will start deep in their own territory, trailing this one by 24. And it's probably the object just to get to the locker room, now only down by 24. And so Carlos, oh, it's Greco back in there, will take a knee. And they'll let the clock run out unless Fresno State calls its last time out, and there's no reason for that. So Tafralis did not start. Greco started. Tafralis moved the team a little bit, but then we see Greco back in to take the knee.
And again, the most success they had in that first half was running against San Jose State. Had no passing attack at all in the first 30 minutes.
So that's the end of the first half. Head coach Pat Hill taking his team locker room with the lead. It's Fresno State 20.
Davis to the 29-yard line for Juan Miles defending.
Be interested to see what the Bulldog defenders say about Giannis Davis. They have to be impressed with him. You know, he's had all these long runs tonight, but I think this is his best run of the evening. I mean, he just carried 4 or 5 Fresno State guys for 3 or 4 yards and got a first down. That's determination. Your team's down 31-0. But, I mean, you got a guy there who's a true fighter.
Now the pitch is to Guidry. Gets away from Marshall, and he'll hit the end zone. Touchdown, San Jose State. 29 yards on the touchdown run by Al Guidry. It's a team sport, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Davis doing so much work, and Guidry gets the glory with the touchdown.
Yeah, he gets the reward here, but remember it was Davis that did yeoman work getting him down there and got the first down to keep it going. And there, the blocking up front was very good, and it made it easy for Al Guidry to turn the corner and score a touchdown. At least the Spartans are on the board. We'll see if Fresno State can play with the same intensity after opening up a 31-0 lead. Sometimes it's very difficult when you have that kind of lead and you've had your way to sustain it for the whole game.
Jared Strubeck's extra point is up and good. Guidry getting little congratulations along the sideline. The Spartans are on the board, trailing this one 31-7 in the third. I mentioned a nice crowd on hand, and they have a sellout. Second sellout of the season, over 41,000 here at Bulldog Stadium. Love to have one on Thursday night, but 5 o'clock start. You've got to get off work early, right?
Yeah, but I still think they're going to come out and support them against Boise State. I mean, it is Boise State. It's going to have probably, certainly we're assuming that Fresno State will hold on here, and they have a 24-point lead, but that'll be from probably the WAC championship or certainly a portion of the WAC title. So I got a feeling the supporters here, the Red Wave, will be out in force waiting for Boise State, and it'll have an electric atmosphere.
Backup referees in the crowd tonight.
Can't have too many of those, right? Everybody's a referee.
That's right. Sometimes you think there are 41,000 referees in the crowd. All right, Strubeck kickoff for San Jose State. Spartans getting on the board on Guidry's 29-yard touchdown run. And we'll see how Fresno State responds. 5 yards deep in the end zone. Jennings is going to bring it out. Breaks to the outside across the 20. Flag comes in. And we'll see about the penalty.
Legal block, and Fresno State will not have good field position again. Remember that set up San Jose State's field position for a touchdown to get on the board, and this block, this hold, going to pin him back. And Jennings, you know, kind of a riverboat gambler coming about 5 or 6 yards out of there, looking for a big one, and a hold on this return.
Number 85,
you can see
during the return. Penalty is 10 yards.
coaching staff on the San Jose State side becoming officials.
This was
Everyone else in the crowd.
First down.
Grab a shirt and make a call. There you see John Baxter, special teams coach of Fresno State.
I don't think he's thrilled that he took it out from 5 or 6 yards in the end zone. And Adam said, hey, I've returned kicks for touchdowns before.
All right, right, so the penalty takes the ball back to the 10. Mathis takes the handoff. Picks up about 5-15. Last time the Bulldogs were down here, they took a little gamble throwing the football, and you wonder now if they're just not going to try and sit back there behind that big offensive line and take some time off the clock, put the chains by marching down the field.
That would be the idea, but San Jose State's much better against the run than they are against the pass, so it's so inviting to throw the football. That was a good effort by Mathis after he was hit. He got 2 or 3 yak yards after getting hit. Nice effort by Mathis.
Here comes the blitz. The handoff. Mathis goes right to the area vacated by the blitzer. Picks up a first down to about the 24. Stopped by Eric Wilson.
Well, Bobby Godinez was coming in on the blitz, and here you look like a genius as a play caller, because this is the perfect play call going right to where number 6 would have been. He ran right through the play. And Mathis had that hole where Godinez would have been had he not blitzed, and ran it upfield for a first down to give Fresno State some breathing room. And now they can operate with either the pass or the run.
Mathis to the sideline. Matt Rivera takes his place. Number 30 behind Pinniger. And he gets the handoff. Stutter steps across the 30, 35-yard line before he is stopped. That's going to be close to another Fresno State first down.
Can't say enough about Matt Rivera. And that offensive line does a wonderful job. But this guy has quick feet. Always finding the holes. You can see there the shift, the movements downfield. Nice to have a replacement like this that could come in and your offense doesn't miss a beat.
Nice little shoulder dip there as well to avoid a defender. 1st and 10, Fresno State. This is Mathis. Picks up maybe 2. Josh Powell on the tackle.
Well, with a big lead, you know, in Fresno State, you want to work that clock down. Still a lot of time left. Hitting going on. You should have that in a rivalry game. See Mathis cutting it upfield, and Josh Powell, who is a hitter in that secondary, senior, guy who had 16 tackles against the Bulldogs last year, got one there.
Fresno State dominating on the scoreboard and on the clock. Time of possession greatly in favor of the Bulldogs right now. Pinniger drops the snap, going to fall on it. Tried to pull out of there. Looks like he was changing the play a little bit. Tried to pull out and left the football behind. Fortunately for the Bulldogs, he was able to pounce back on it.
See Paul say it was his fault. Those are the kind of the miscues you really shouldn't see at this time of the year. It's a rare mental breakdown by Paul Pinniger, just leaving early. If anyone should know the snap count, it should be Paul Pinniger. Can't fault him though tonight. He made a mistake there, but he's had a great game.
Of those 197 San Jose State yards, about 184 on the ground. Now Pinniger to throw on 3rd. Far sidelines are on Fairman. Stepped out of bounds. Right at the 45-yard line. That should be another Fresno State first down. And it is.
You gotta like receivers that run the right route. And Fairman knew exactly where the first down sticks were. When he got hit, he had the first down as Marcus Harper and Godinez were over there. Square in route for Fairman and a first down for Fresno State. Keep the drive moving on.
Bircher and Mathis in the backfield. That's Paul Williams in motion. He already has a sensational touchdown grab. Mathis has a touchdown run. Flag comes in on that play in the area where you would suspect holding.
Yeah, the Bulldogs are making a few more mistakes here in the 3rd quarter.
No flag on the play.
Although this one's picked up, the second time that's happened tonight. But Fresno State not quite as crisp. And again, a lot of times when you have a big lead like this, not as easy to execute. It's just the human nature. When you have a team down like that, you kind of let up a little bit. Although Pat Hill's not one of those guys who likes to let up at all.
Yeah, it's interesting. That flag didn't just fall out of the official's pocket. He threw it right to the offensive line. But somebody fucked his way out of a penalty. On second down, that's Wendell Mathis in motion. Vinegar, short drop, guns the pass, and what a hit Jermaine Jameson took from Gavi Godinez. Just as the ball arrived, fortunately for Fresno State, Jameson just popped right up, but Godinez really laid the hit.
Well, Godinez is a former linebacker in that deep secondary, and that's a linebacker mentality right there. He nearly took the head off of Jamerson. I mean, that was quite a crash, but that's a guy in the secondary who's a former LB who plays like a linebacker.
Wow. 3rd and 7 now for Fresno State, leading this one 31-7. Vinegar out of the shotgun, a 4-man rush. He has time, drops the pass over the middle. Pass is complete. Jerron Fairman inside the 40 to about the 38-yard line for another Fresno State first down. Josh Powell on the tackle for the Spartans.
Yeah, Paul Williams ran a deeper route, cleared out the area. The respect for Paul Williams has got over 100 yards worth of real estate tonight. And that unoccupied area, you just dumped down your second receiver on a crossing pattern, and that was Fairman for a first down. But they did a good job in Fresno State of clearing that area out and bringing Fairman across the field for the first down.
Spartans looking like they might be coming with a blitz. They do not. Vinegar going to throw, trying to get away from pressure. Now he's going to run inside the 35. Stiff arms one defender, Matt Costello, and then is run out of bounds. Inside the 30 at the 29. Wilson finally got him out of bounds.
You know, Paul Vinegar is 6'4" and about 230 pounds. He's a physical guy. You know, when he runs downfield, and again, we saw him on that 5-yard run before. I mean, he's physical. There's a stiff arm. He just sticks his shoulder down. I mean, he's tough. He's not just a quarterback who sits in a pocket and throw the football. He's a tough guy. And again, that's a product what Pat Hill likes. A tough guy playing quarterback.
Seen him run for a score tonight. He picked up 9 yards on that play. So it's 2nd and 1. Hand off to Mathis. First down at the 25. Wilson with the tackle for San Jose State.
This is an impressive drive. It's Fresno State responding to the San Jose State score. And good football teams will respond. Here, Mathis nearly broke this for a touchdown. But, I mean, you respond as a good football team when you've been scored upon. Despite poor field position, Fresno State's on a sustained march.
The drive started back at the 10-yard line after the penalty on the kickoff return. Mathis approaching 100 yards on the night and 800 yards on the season. Matt Rivera with the cutback, covers up the ball with both hands, and picks up about 3 to about the 22.
All along, Fresno State is eating up a lot of the clock here in the third quarter. It's the advantage. If you can run the football, you can finish teams off. Run the clock out. You know, when you're a passing team, sometimes it's tough to win the game in the fourth quarter. But when you can run the football effectively, you finish off and close out games. And that's why Fresno State is so good down the stretch. They close out games.
Trying to close out this one as we approach 4 minutes to play in the third quarter. Williams in motion. You see Vinegar very low behind center. That's the way he does things. Williams with a catch, breaks the tackle, spins again inside the 10, stays on his feet to the 3, maybe the 2-yard line. Paul Williams oohing and awing the crowd again.
Well, he's a guy that has immense talent. He's had some moments this year, but he's having a breakout game tonight. And he's just making spectacular play. First a fine catch after bobbling it, and showing his strength and his balance going downfield. And every time you just see a vivid illustration is why Fresno State says he's a freak. He's just a big guy with great skills.
First and goal, Fresno State from the 3. Pinniger now over 300 yards passing on the night. Fresno State still behind in rushing with all those passing numbers for the Bulldogs. Handoff, Mathis. End zone, touchdown.
Brilliant drive. And the fans deserve to applaud a football team that, again, after being scored on, answered right back. That was just a brilliant display of football by Fresno State. You know, San Jose State, its intensity had picked up because they got a score, and the defense really wanted to stop them, but they just couldn't. And Mathis, who has been great in the red zone and scoring touchdowns all season long, gets another one.
Zimmerman with the extra point, and Fresno State back up by 31. 3:42 to play in the third. It's the Bulldogs 38, the Spartans of San Jose State 7. Bulldog bounce, and they start jumping around. Fans enjoying the music, and it's a way to keep things going into the fourth quarter, keep the momentum going. And so far, the momentum has been all on Fresno State's side, 38-7. As we begin quarter number 4. Pinniger, pass to Rivera, touchdown.
What a night for Paul Pinniger. That one was 16 yards to Rivera, who's a very good receiver coming out of the backfield. Just sent everyone out, and this broke down the Spartan defense entirely. Everyone's in the pattern. Flooded the area with receivers, and the Spartans and the linebackers just don't defend well enough to stop that game. Pinniger's had a huge night, and Rivera, who caught 2 key touchdowns in a win at Kansas State last year, is very good in that regard, making catches out of the backfield.
Kyle Zimmerman's extra point is good, and Paul Pinniger joins some pretty exclusive company. Now 70 career touchdown passes. That matches David Carr, top Fresno State's all-time list. 3 of the 70 coming in tonight, and it's 45-7.
Lexus RX with vehicle stability control helps maintain traction to keep you on the road, so nothing else has to. At Fresno Lexus.
Fresno State early in the fourth quarter. We're going to take a look back at the third quarter stats brought to you by Clearwire Wireless Broadband, high-speed internet that moves with you. Paul Pinniger all smiles there on his milestone. We'll get those stats for you shortly. But again, the milestone for Pinniger, 70 career touchdown passes, matching David Carr. Now with the Houston Texans, there are those stats.
Passing yardage, 311. Total yardage, 420. Look at the discrepancy there in the total yardage. And San Jose State's played a pretty clean game of the one turnover, an interception early in the game by Tyrone Culver. But they've just been dominated by a better football team on this night.
Zimmerman getting a workout on kickoffs tonight. Broussard from the goal line. 15, 20. Jerron Fairman takes him down along with Javier Brown.
Around there by Jerron Fairman and Javier Brown.
We've seen a lot of substitutions now, as you might expect, on defense.
Paul Pinniger has tied David Carr for first place on the all-time list.
Tough Shed, storage buildings and garages. Call 1-800-BUY-TOUGH. Greco to pass. Still hasn't completed one in the second half. Had him wrapped up, but Brown got the pass away.
Yeah, it really did. I mean, he held his composure in there. Looks like he's going to go down. He finds Perry, throws a perfect ball to him, and Patrick plain and simply dropped it.
So on 4th and 12, 2:56 to play. San Jose State's going to go for it. 15 on the play clock. Brown out of the shotgun. I don't remember Greco playing out of the shotgun much tonight. Along the sideline, the pass hits the shoulder pad of Cunningham and falls incomplete.
Elgin Simmons on reserve for Fresno State back in coverage, doing a nice job. This is going to be a very interesting November for the Dogs with the schedule coming up, because it's Boise State, then it's USC. And for Dick Tomey's guys, he's got 2 winnable games coming up. A bye after tonight, then New Mexico State and Idaho at home. So even though they've been blitzed here tonight, Dick Tomey can finish with a couple victories. Those are very winnable games for the Spartans.
We'll be back to Bulldog Stadium, where Fresno State leads 45-7 fourth quarter lead over San Jose State. Stadium pretty much clearing out right now. The Tough Man Player of the Game is presented by Tough Shed Storage Buildings and Garages. Call 1-800-BUY-TOUGH as Shannon Dorsey carries it to near midfield. Again, the Tough Man Player of the Game presented by Tough Shed Storage Buildings and Garages. Call 1-800-BUY-TOUGH. And your Tough Shed Tough Man of the Game is right there, number 34, Giannis Davis. And you have to be tough when your team's struggling in the passing game. And the defense knows you got to try and run it, and you run it as well as he did. And it's a tough situation.
Yeah, he's just a fighter, runs hard. He's the great king. That's what Giannis means. So he was a king, at least running the football tonight for the Spartans.
Shannon Dorsey.
That's a mop-up roll. And a good showcase for Shannon Dorsey to get a lot of handles on that football. Late flag coming in.
Shane Lapka getting into it a little bit with Fresno State's Kyle Richard.
Personal foul, 97. Dead ball, personal foul, 87. Penalties offset.
You remember Shane Lapka's dad, Myron Lapka, played football at USC, 77 through 79, and an NFL career with the Giants and Rams. And Ralph, you went to USC. Myron Lapka.
That's right. They're saying Kevin Ciccone was the Bulldog involved in that little altercation, but they'll cancel each other out. Second down from the 49 of San Jose State. Under 2 minutes to play now. Bulldogs will win their 6th in a row this season. Their 12th straight game against San Jose State. Bulldogs will go to 7-1 for the first time since 1991. Dorsey bouncing it outside. Can't get around the corner. Out of bounds at about the 49 again. 49-yard line. David Bowen, the defender for San Jose State.
Well, it's time to look ahead to Boise State for Fresno State. It's a bye, then those last 2 games for San Jose State. Home against New Mexico State on the 19th at Spartan Stadium, then on the 26th against Idaho. Pat Hill's got a challenge in front of him. Nevada won over Hawaii tonight. That's not going to be easy on the road. He's got some tough challenges, not just USC and Boise State, but Nevada's pretty good, and Louisiana Tech is still in the WAC race right now.
Dorsey again. Breaks away from the initial defenders. He's going to pick up a first down. He gets it inside the 40-yard line. So nice tough run by Shannon Dorsey. He'll get Fresno State another set of downs, and they should be able to run out the clock and end this one. From the executive producer of Sports West Productions is Jesse Christensen. Tonight's producer was Kermit Schumard. The director was Marty Tarr. Graphics by Dave Melfi. Thanks to our entire staff and crew here in Fresno.
Ralph, the Bulldogs offensively have racked up 525 yards tonight. And again, they've had a great passing attack and a running game. Just terrific balance. The difference, Fresno State has better athletes, but they had balance, and San Jose State did not.
big play of the quarter is presented by Xbox Live. It's good to play together, and here is the Xbox big play for the fourth quarter. And it's a pass from Paul Pinniger to Matt Rivera for the touchdown. The Xbox play of the quarter again. Xbox Live. It's good to play together.
Well, this game's about over. One more play. If the Bulldogs put it on the ground here, run the football, we'll be very satisfied with this performance.
Dorsey getting a lot of carries tonight. Spins inside the 35 to the 34, and that should do it. Pat Hill's going to go across the field and greet Dick Tomey. Tomey was his head coach, and Pat Hill was an assistant at Arizona back in 1990.